Hello, fellow gardeners. Well, we're back with you now. This is the last 10 days of February we're in. A lot of people are getting anxious about gardening. And yes, I know it's just right around the corner. There's people putting stuff out that they'll probably get it killed and have to go back and do it again. But there is people that taking chances in case they get it by, then they got an early start. I don't know that it pays a whole lot to get a real early start outside. Now, if you got, high tunnel, yes, you can get in that high tunnel and you can get a month head start on stuff, or up to 6 weeks ahead start. So anyway, we're going to go over a little list, as people always texting me and call me, Leon, can I plant okra now, or can I plant watermelons now, or can I plant sweet potatoes now? Not in February, you can't. So we're going to go over a list. I may go over it faster than you can write down, but if you want to get you a paper and write these down, or you can come back and listen to the video again. Now, y'all, all of you know that you can go on Gardening with Leon, and when you see my face there in a circle, if you will click on my face, it will set all of these up. The last video we make will come up first, and then you can go right back through all the other 170 or 80 videos we got on there. But anyway, today we're going to talk about what you can plant first. Now, if you people are up north, you know it's going to be later now. I'm talking about people here in Texas, southern Oklahoma, and parallel with us there. You know, potatoes and onions are two of the first things you need to put out. You need to get your onions out now. Get them out while it's still cool, and they'll take the freeze. Potatoes, you're going to bury them under the ground. There's no big rush. You've got up till into March to put your potatoes in the ground. You could take your seed potatoes and cut it up, you know, where you have at least one eye on a little piece of potato, and then eat the rest of the potato. They sure are good fried, or any way you like to fix them, mashed or whatever. Then it's time, you know, cabbage. You can put cabbage out now in our area here in southern Oklahoma, northern Texas. Lettuce, spinach, kale, cauliflower, broccoli, and there's even rose. You can even put rose bushes out now in our area, and petunias. Now, a lot of people think petunias are hot weather flower, and it's not. Petunias like it cool. Let me tell you what happened to me about 30 years ago. I always thought cabbage was tougher than petunias. But I had a half a house of cabbage and a half a house of petunias. All just small plants. They hadn't been planted over a couple of weeks. We had a fire go out in there, and it got down to about 14 or 15 degrees that night. Froze everything solid. We went out the next morning, and I thought, well, my cabbage will be okay, but my petunias probably kill. I waited till the sun come up and went back again about 11 or 12 o'clock, and guess what? The cabbage was melted down, stinking in there like crazy, and the petunias were sitting there just shining like saying, man, I like that cold night. So anyway, you can put your petunias out. If you've got some pansies out now that you've had out all winter, and it froze back some and are trying to come back a little, if you'll get you some petunias and mix around in those pansies, here in about a month, you will be glad you did that. They make it so pretty with them pansies and the petunias together. You're going to put red, white, purple petunias in there, and you've got all these yellows and purples and whites, pinks in your pansies, and it just makes a gorgeous tub. So anyway, that's what Judy and I are going to do after we get through this video. We're going to go put some petunias in with our pansies in our tubs. Okay, now then, corn and tomatoes and herbs, you need to wait just a little longer. Next week, I'm going to talk about a video about what you can do if you really want to get after it and put your tomatoes and lettuce and that's about it. Tomatoes. Main thing, people are wanting to get tomatoes out as early as they can. And I don't blame them. I like to do that too. We usually put them in the high tunnel back about the 1st of February, and we can get them by. Sometime we have to cover them a little bit. But I'm going to go through next week. I'm going to have you a video that you're going to see how to put them tomatoes in those tubs outside and get them by. Okay? I'm talking about in southern Oklahoma. I'm not talking about up in Nebraska or Illinois or something where it's still got snow on the ground. But anyway, we're going to go on down now, and we talked about our corn and our tomatoes and our herbs. We got to wait a little bit of while longer if you're just going to put them outside. That corn, if you plant that in early February, it usually won't come up. It's too cold. So you wait till early March or middle of March, something like that, to get your corn out. And you can put some tomatoes out if you cover them then. And you can put your herbs out. You know, make you a little tunnel out of wax paper or plastic. We'll talk about that next week. You can also put begonias out starting in March, because they'll take some cool weather, just not hard freezes. Then we get on down into the April, when it's the time you really need to put your tomatoes out, in the first part of April, when it's kind of, because I mean, winter's not over yet. We're going to have some cold weather here in Oklahoma, North Texas. Y'all just watch. If we get by, it'd be wonderful. People get them by. But I'm afraid they'll lose most of their tomatoes and all. Have to come back and replant. Okay, but watch next week, and I'll show you how to get them tomatoes by. Putting them out now. All right, then we're talking about our squash and our cucumbers, our peppers and our eggplants. You got to wait till it gets on down in the middle to the last part of April here in southern Oklahoma and North Texas in our parallel to put these out. Because if you don't, these cold snaps at night, this gets down to 28 or 30 degrees, is going to get this squash and cucumbers and peppers and eggplants. They like it warmer. And also impatiens. If you put out impatiens during April, you can get by with impatiens most of the time. And then, because you don't want to get them started before it gets real hot summertime. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Okay, and then next comes up okra. A lot of people want to plant okra before they ever plant potatoes. You can't do that. Okra is a hot weather. You've got to wait till the best thing to do is wait up in the last of April to 1st of May. Actually, it's better if you wait up into May until the weather gets up to where it's at least 70 degrees at night to plant your okra. Because if you plant that okra in cooler weather, it'll stunt that okra, and you can go ahead and plant you some in May and June, and it'll still make okra before this other did, because you stunted this first. So don't get a rush on planting your okra and your watermelons, your cantaloupes, your black-eyed peas, pink, purple eyes, all those like that. The cow peas, they call them, for their summertime. And marigolds are another one, like summertime. They don't like cold weather. Anyway, lantana is another one. You kind of wait till it gets warmer to plant out your lantana. It'll go through all summer, just like your mosses will. Anyway, I'm giving you, I know there's lots of other flowers and vegetables you're going to ask me about, and my phone is open for you to text me anytime you want to, and I will get back to you. A lot of time you call me, I can't get back to you because I've got too many calls coming in. I'm up there driving that boat. Judy and I are out fishing, so you don't get an answer. But if you'll text me, it's sitting there, a whole list of text, and when I get through, come in from the lake on the afternoon, I'll sit there and I'll answer your text, and you'll get your answers. My number is 580-564-5909. It's on every video on there. So you have no reason not to be able to get me and text me. If you want to talk to the Garden Center, it's on there, 580-564-2166. And Sherry or Shirley will be glad to answer your questions, send you a paper copy of the fertilizers you need to use, and we'll try to help you make a successful garden. Okay, we're going to cut this off now. We'll see you next week again. Subscribe, punch that button, ring the bell, and we're going to make you another one.